Hello, today we are learning about Lesson 16, writing expressions in which letters stand for numbers. It's kind of the same as 15, only we're going to do a little bit more with it today. We're going to be given the words and then try to write the expressions out. It'll be a little challenging, but we can get through it. The first part of this lesson today is just looking at small vocabulary words. So as we read each one, we're going to underline what the vocabulary words are. So in the first one, our keywords are our vocabulary words. So it says the sum of twice b and 5. Well, if you remember from our list that you have, hopefully you have it in front of you. If you don't, take a minute to pause this and go get our list of all the words that go under each operation. So the first one that we can underline is sum, and the second one is twice. And that's all we have to do for this section. So B says the quotient of C and D. Well, the main word we have here is the word quotient. That's a word we're familiar with. C says A raised to the 5th power and then increased by the product of 5. Well, you might think you want to do raise, but all you have to do is underline power, because that's going to tell you that that is an exponent. And then increased is another word, and product is another word. Okay? D says the quantity of A plus B divided by 4. Well, quantity we know means we're going to have parentheses. And then plus knows we're going to do addition. And then divided by tells us we're going to use division. See how once you know what the words mean, it makes it a little bit easier? You'll see that in a minute again. E says 10 less than the product of 15 and C. So less than is one of the words on our list, and product is another word. Our last one is 5 times D and then increased by 8. So times is one of the words, and yes, increased by is the best one. So that was the easy part, right? Let's look at the next section. The next section is the same thing, but this time we're going to actually try to put the numbers in. So I'm going to go ahead and underline all of our words again so that we're comfortable with them. Okay, here we go. So now we have the sum of twice b and 5. Well, sum tells us we're going to have addition. Twice b is not the same as b to the power of 2. This one is actually 2 times b. That's twice the b. And the 5 is where we put the 5 at the end. So the sum of twice b and 5 is 2b plus 5. The next one is the quotient. Quotient means division. So we're going to have the quotient of c and d. It is c divided by d, which can also be written as c over d. Okay? C says A raised to the 5th power and then increased, if you look at your list, means add, by the product of 5 and C. Product means multiply. So let's start with A. We'll write it over here. A raised to the 5th power and then increase, let's put our plus sign, the product by the product of 5 and C. Well, that's simply written 5 times C, which we write like that. All right, let's get a little more challenging for us. The quantity, well, we know that quantity means A plus B divided by 4. Sorry, we know that quantity means we have to put parentheses. So let's put our parentheses first. The quantity of A plus B and then divided by 4. I think we got this. Another way of writing this is A plus B divided by 4. Remember, when we write it as fraction form, we don't have to use the parentheses. And then, of course, if you want to look at what we did last lesson, we put the 4 on the outside and the A plus B on the inside. But I don't want you to worry about that one right now. This is the one we're going to focus on. All right, we're doing okay here. Let's go on to the next one, because this is all we're doing today. Okay, the next one says 10 less than the product of 15 and C. So we're going to underline less than and then product. So if you remember from a few weeks ago, the less than means that it has to go on the other side of the subtraction. And then we have the product of 15 and C means it's multiplication, 15C. So it becomes 15C take away 10. So if I rewrite that nicer, now that we've worked it out, I can say 15C take away 10 because the less than goes on the other side of the subtraction. Okay, moving down to F, we have 5 times D, so times will underline, and then increased by 8. So we start right from the beginning, 5 times D, 5D, that's 5 times D. Increase means adding, so we're going to put our addition sign, and then we're increasing it by 8. Hopefully you're looking at this saying, oh, this isn't too bad after all. All right, so don't get nervous. There are words here, but we can handle the words. First, we have to model how to change each real-world scenario to an expression using variables and numbers. Underline the text to show the key words before writing the expression. So let's work on that first. As with all word problems, the first thing we're going to do is just read it. So Marcus has Marcus has $4 more than Yasin. If Y is the amount of money Yasin has, write an expression to show how much money Marcus has. Okay, so Marcus has $4 more than Yasin. So one thing we can do is look at this as, what if we knew how much money Yasin has? What if she didn't have Y? What if she had, I don't know, $7? If Yasin had $7 and Marcus had $4 more, it would be 7 plus 4. Well, since we don't know that it's 7, it's actually Y, then we can say it is Y plus 4. So when you're not sure, you can always give a money amount or a number amount and then try and see it from there. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, this time Mario is missing half of his assignments. Well, half is a keyword there. If A represents the number of assignments, write an expression to show how many assignments Mario is missing. All right, well, let's do what we did up top. Let's give a number. Let's make the number 10. Let's say there are 10 assignments, and if he's missing half of his assignments, well, that becomes 10 divided by 2, or 5 assignments, right? So we got that. What if we went back, instead of saying A now, instead of saying 10, we said A. Well, now we have, and we don't know if that's going to be 5 anymore, so now we have A divided by 2. Oh, we can also say it like this, A over 2. And that represents half. Okay, I think we're getting this. Okay, the next one says, Camilla's weight has tripled since her first birthday. Okay, so our key word here is tripled. That tells us the operation is going to have something to do with multiplication. If W represents the amount of Camilla's weight on her first birthday, write an expression to show how much Camilla's weight weighs now. Okay, let's give her a weight. Let's say, sounds like it's a baby, let's say it was 20 pounds on their first birthday. Now, if 20 pounds was tripled, we know that that would have been multiplied by 3 to give us 60 pounds. Since we don't know what their pounds was, it was actually W, we could then say it's W times 3, and we don't know about the 60. But we don't say W times 3. We say 3W. And that's the expression, 3W. All right, moving on. Here's some more. Nathan brings cupcakes to school and gives them to his 5 best friends, who share them equally. Here's our word, equally. If C represents the number of cupcakes Nathan brings to school, write an expression to show how many cupcakes each of his friends receive. Okay, so if we say that, let's give him a number again. Nathan brings cupcakes to school and gives them to his, they share them equally. Let's underline that too. To his 5 best friends. So let's say that he brings 15 cupcakes to school. And instead of saying C, and he shares them with his 5 best friends. Well, if he's going to divide them equally with his 5 best friends, he's going to divide by 5. So instead of having 15, we're going to make it C. Becomes C divided by 5, and we know that we can also write that as C over 5. Both those work. All right, you had to know that equally means divide. And if you didn't have that chart in front of you, you might not remember that. So keep that in mind, okay? Sharing something equally means dividing them, okay? Not just equally, but sharing as well. Okay, next one. Mrs. Marcus combines her atlases and dictionaries and then divides them among 10 different tables. Oh, the key word there, divide. If A represents the number of atlases and D represents the number of dictionaries, oh wait, she combined them, that's our other keyword, that Mrs. Marcus has, write an expression to show how many books would be on each table. Okay, so we have to show the combination, which would be addition, and then dividing them, which we know is division. All right, let's think about this. Okay, well, they said that A represents atlases and D represents dictionaries. Let's give them a number instead. Let's say we have 8 atlases and maybe 12 dictionaries. So if we combine those two, we'll be adding them. So then we would have 20, but then we have to divide them among 10 different tables. So we would do the A plus the D, and then we would have to divide them by 10. And our answer would be 2, but we're not going to worry about this part right now. We're going to take this over here. So we could say A plus D divided by 10. So another way we can write that, we have to, when we're doing it, we have to make sure we put the quantities first. So we have to put in our parentheses. So we could do it, let me rewrite this better. Open parentheses, we have to do A plus D separately because we're going to combine them together first, and then we're going to divide them by 10. Another way we could do that is A plus D over 10. Both of those ways are acceptable. Make sure if we do the top way, we put in parentheses because we need that. All right, let's look at our very last one on this page. Okay, don't be bowled over by the words. Let's just take it one piece at a time. To improve in basketball, Ivan's coach told him that he needs to take 4 times as many free throws and 4 times as many jump shots every day. If F represents the number of free throws and J represents the number of jump shots Ivan shoots daily, write an expression to show how many shots he will need to take in order to improve his basketball. Okay, so let's underline our main words here. To improve in basketball, Ivan's coach told him that he needs to take 4 times as many free throws and 4 times again. So this number 4 and this number 4 is the same. And we have an and in the middle, which makes it addition. And makes it addition. Okay, so let's say that Ivan shoots 5 free throws. Let's say 5 free throws. And let's say he does 10 jump shots. Now, how many will he need to shoot in order to improve? He'll have to do the 4 times 5, because they have to do 4 times as many free throws and 4 times as many jump shots. These are free throws. These are jump shots. Let's to make that a correct F. So, and added them together. So, we have to put the 4 for both of them. So we would do 4 times F plus 4 times J, because he has to do 4 times as many free throws and 4 times as many jump shots. Wow, we just learned the other day that when we have this, we can actually, since they both have 4 on both sides in common, we can actually write it outside, and then parentheses, we could factor it. So 4 times, and we use both 4's, we can then say F plus J. That's what we learned last week about factoring and expanding, or last week and the week before. So that's how we can write that one. Okay, we're not going to do all of them on this page, but let's start with the first one. If we have 15 and it's decreased by the quantity of 6 plus b, we know what quantity means parentheses, and if this number is decreased by this number, we're going to put 150 first, and then it's going to be decreased by the quantity of 6 plus b. All right, let's try number 4. The sum of twice c and 10. All right, well, the sum means we're going to have addition, and then we're going to have twice the c. Here's our and then 10. So 2c plus 10. Okay, Mario had $35, but then spent M dollars. Well, we know that he had 35, and to spend is subtract. And we don't know how much he spent, but he spent something, M. All right, let's keep moving. 16. Number 6. Samantha saved her money and was able to quadruple the original amount, M. So, saved isn't really an operation, but quadruple means 4. If you quadruple something, then you multiply it by 4. If the original amount was M, and she quadrupled it, she multiplied it by 4. All right, Veronica increased her grade by G. She increased her grade G by 4 points. And then she doubled it. Well, she had G grade to start with. Increased is addition. And then she doubled this all together. Well, if we put parentheses around, now we've made it all together. And then to double it, we don't usually write the 2 on the right hand side. We write the 2 over here. So it becomes 2G plus 4. All right. Number 8. Ed Bell had M pieces of candy and ate 5 of them. Then he split the remaining candy equally among 4 friends. Okay, so he had M pieces of candy. He ate 5 of them. We know what happens there. That's a subtraction. And then he split the remaining candy equally among 4 friends. Well, we know that splitting is dividing, and equally also goes with dividing. So we can take the M pieces of candy first, and then he eats 5, takes away 5. And then when he split it, he divided it among his 4 friends. So we had, but wait. First thing that happened was he ate it, so we have to put our parentheses in. M minus 5 divided by 4, which also can be written as M minus 5, minus 5, not 4, Miss Shaw. M minus 5 divided by 4. Okay, I think we'll stop here for today because we're just at about 20 minutes, and I would like you to try the assessments. just the one today, and see how you do. But I bet you'll do well.